Welcome to Cat the Minion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. This is the weekend pick-a pile, and I've got 5 piles this week. I'll tell you what the objects are so you can think about it while I'm showing you what cards I'm using. So I have this Bendy Ariel here. That's one pile. I have a mug, the National Society for the Preservation of Covered Bridges. A Joker Batman. My friends gave it to me. They had it in one of those like nerd gift boxes. Dusty. My best friend, she says to me, she says, "I don't want this in my house." I was like, okay, I'll take it. And I have a treasure chest here. There's nothing in there right now, but treasure chest. It says Lake George, New York, so if that's relevant to anybody. And I have a star-shaped pencil from the Krista McAuliffe Planetarium. They do not have these pencils anymore. I was there a couple years ago. They have crappy little straight neon pencils now. But this one is almost 30 years old. I think I got it when I was in about 3rd grade, so I am terrified of breaking it at this point. But if you want a star-shaped Krista McAuliffe Planetarium pencil for your pile object this week, that is the pile for you. It's like a fairy wand, like I dubbed these Spawn. Okay. So the cards that I'm using this week, I have several card decks. Each pile has a different number of cards. Not every pile has all of the cards that I'm using this week, okay? So I'm using the Lover's Oracle, brand new to me this week. Oh no. Calamity. These are heart-shaped cards. They're bigger than I expected. Very nice. They have images on the back. I'm gonna have to check my focus because I slammed the table and then touched the camera. I also, this week, I got the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. It's got this tiny little magnet box. It's so cute. Gilded Reverie Lenormand. This is the first Lenormand deck I have, so I'm probably going to be referring to the book. I meant to... I want to see if I can find some people reading strictly Lenormand spreads on YouTube, just so I can get a better sense of it, because it's a new system for me, and I want to make sure that I have some idea of what's going on before I get into it too much. But we're gonna... I can't avoid it forever, so we're gonna play with it today a little bit. And I've got the mini Rider-Waite, my music deck that I made for myself. I have the Morgan Greer, Dreams of Gaia Tarot, the Work Your Light Oracle, the Mystical Shaman Oracle, the Thoth deck, the Cairo Marchetti Legacy deck. It's called Legacy of the Divine Tarot. Now, I did not know that this Gilded Reverie Lenormand was also by Cairo Marchetti, so fun facts. And this one is by Blue Angel, and I have at least one other deck by Blue Angel, maybe 2. I think, what was it? I think the Lucy Cavendish Blessings deck might be Blue Angel, and I think the Dreams of Gaia might be Blue Angel too, but I'm not sure. It's a publisher, I think, not necessarily the author. So it's like 1,000,000 degrees today. It's warm, I'm sweaty, I got water. I got the Lenormand booklet, and I think we're ready to go. So if you're still confused and you don't know which card pile you're going to pick, you could just keep watching until something resonates, or, again, star pencil. My brother had a blue one. Treasure chest. Joker Batman. Bridge cup. And Bendy Ariel. The wires don't go all the way up to her arms. I used to have these, like, wire Easter Bunny things. Anyway, well, at least her tail bends. That's exciting. There. Okay. I had it focused to about here, but let me check that real quick because I was touching the things. Is it still? Of course not. I think that's about where it needs to be. Right. Okay. Oh, snuffly. The pollen count is too damn high, and so is the temperature. I'm going to read the chest first. Alright, let's see what the cards are. King of Water inverted. Let me just hold it upright for a second. It's down here so I can read it without being too conspicuous. Ah! My piles are all screwed up. There we go. Okay. Alright, King of Water. So we have air of water, and then we have Libra and Scorpio energy. So we have air and water, and air and water, and we have to do with darkness and balance. So immediately what I'm seeing is heading into darkness unbalanced. Oh, the chest, okay. So a Lenormand card. We have the house. Number 4, with a reference to the King of Cups. So that's interesting. And it's Buddy 13. So that's the child. And it's inverted. And we have a Jack of Swords, which could be either the Knight or the Page of Swords. That's number 13, so that's death. That's also related to Scorpio. And notice again that this card has King of Cups with the number 4, which is, could be the Emperor, and then also there's, the King can be a 1 or a 14, so that looks like 10 and 4, and then 5, which is some kind of a pivot. Right, out of balance, getting your house in order, growing up. And I'll check into that again after. So let me just see what the swords, if it was a page, it would be winter with earth of air, and if it was the knight, it would be Taurus and Gemini with fire of air, and I'm feeling more that it's the knight than the page here, which would give me a hanged man energy. And the sun inverted, that's 19. Just sun and fire and ruled by Leo. So this is the card here. Notice that it's very deep and watery. We have this masculine energy here who looks like he wants to be nurtured, and I think it has to do with this child feeling like they're dying, and this potential maturity issues here. And I think the child inverted could also be a lack of nurturing. So it's like it's something that's wanted. But let's see what's on the other side here. We have embrace. Through each other, you find the missing pieces. Now look at this. It's like a game board. Okay. Is that gonna fall? Yeah, it's gonna. Haha. Alright. So we have the King of Cups again. This time he's upright. It's a lot of King of Cups energy. And the King of Cups again inverted. I can see clearly now, but it's inverted here. Holy crap on a stick. Okay. Two of Pentacles. Do you believe in magic? Okay. So the Two of Pentacles is Jupiter in Capricorn. So we have this idea of luck, and then I usually also associate Jupiter with the month of July. I don't know why, I just do. So let me see what the Lenormand cards say, because that's going to really help me figure out what's going on here. It's almost like a hologram that's flapping in and out of existence. This Two of Pentacles, right? The king is trying to balance himself. He's like, am I upright or am I upside down? You know, it's like he's trying to figure out if he's going to be deep in his feelings or if he's going to be stable. And it's like he has to figure out this dark night of the soul and reconcile his inner child. Page of Swords. Taurus and Gemini. Mercurial and Venus. Okay. Yeah, so it has to do with balancing masculine and feminine energy as well, which is where this is coming in. It's like the king has no access to his inner feminine and has a hard time nurturing himself, and in that way he feels like, I want to say like angry, but sort of not like a full adult, like he's not feeling like, it's like, I don't feel like a man, but it's not like he's not like Rrr. It's like he's lacking confidence in himself because he knows that deep in his heart space something is missing. And he wants to believe that he has the ability to reconcile the two different sides of himself. Alright, so let me read the house. And I also see this 4 here as being linked to the Emperor, which brings it back to this fire energy of he's trying to gain balance and maturity, because we have 4 kings here. Even though they're all the same suit, 4 kings is the Emperor. He's very much in his emotions, this masculine energy, this masculine side of you. Because if you're a feminine, it could be your inner masculine that needs the nurturing and the balance. So wait, where am I going? The house. House MD. My time. House. These are supposed to be literal, and some of them are negative and some are positive, and I don't know the full system yet. So, I am your family and your base, your ground and your home. I give you stability and comfort. I am your living arrangement and environment. I am what surrounds you and your estate. Sanctuary, family home, shelter from the world. Entice us home again to the nostalgic place of childhood fairy tales. Security. and opening. Okay. So this is the explanation in the book really goes to reiterate what I was already saying. This house here, it's like the king wants to be protected and feel sturdy in his own foundation, right? Foundation 4. But he wants to be in the upright position and be open and giving as well. And then also if I say Jupiter is July, and then we have the sun here, that's summer energy, and then Leo is, let's see, Leo I think is August, but I don't remember if it starts in July or not. I think so, yes. Okay. Leo energy. So that's that confidence, and the sun would be like warmth and positive interactions with other people. But the king is trying to climb out of this dark night of the soul. And here we have this idea of a secure foundation, being reconciled with your inner child, feeling protected and nurtured enough to let others in. So let me read the child here, 13, because this is the cycle that's being resolved here, the transformation. It says, I am young, I am new, I am playful and immature, I am a baby, a kid, or a teenager. Small, short, or tiny are other ways to describe me. Someone who is young at heart. Wonderment, innocence, and hope, the ability to play just for the fun of it. Okay. So this is a concept of right here, this king is jaded, right? He's having a hard time seeing things clearly because of feeling like alone in the world, having to fend for himself. But he's coming to this point where he knows that he wants to reconnect with his inner child and nurture them and let them play, maybe in ways that they weren't. Like maybe their parents were abusive, or they were poor and they weren't able to have fun because they had to work the whole time just in be in survival mode and stuff like that. So here the king wants to come in refreshed and believe in this sort of magic of childhood, that life could be fun. And I think it really comes through as this is masculine energy, because the masculine energy is the like logical thought, linear progression kind of energy, and then we have this nurturing of the feminine energy coming in and saying you don't have to go through all these steps all the time. You're allowed to open your heart and have some creative energy. You're allowed to be whimsical. And that's the way to achieve the balance on the way to being that emperor. And I don't think it's any mistake that when I was adjusting the screen, this is the card that was on the bottom of this deck. I'm going to stop this. So that's all for the chest. And I'm going to move on to the next pile, which is going to be Joker Batman. Alright, so Joker Batman. Here he comes to something the day. I just heard something as the day is long. Alright, so we have a work your light here. We have protection, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. Just funny, because I was going to say here he comes to wreck the day. It's like somebody who's stolen your energy. Break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. So, I mean, come on, like these cards aren't related. Break the chain, call back your power, cut the cords, break the chain. Ancestral patterns and soul retrieval, I feel like, are very similar. It's like you can be your own ancestor. Alright. Queen of Wands. She is large and in charge. In the Tower. Not surprised. Break the Chain, to me, is very similar to the Eight of Swords, which is I want to break free. And then we have the Tower, which is 8 doubled. Queen of Wands, 13 or a 1. So we do have an ending of a cycle here, a transformation. Queen of Wands. Pisces and Aries, water and fire. And I also sense that very much in energy of getting close to temperance, because temperance is, even though it's supposed to be a balance between all of the elements, it's that like water and fire being poured back and forth. Oh, and the Tower is also fire with Aries energy. I mean, with Mars energy, which rules Aries. Okay. So here we have someone, the Queen of Wands here, having called back her power, is regenerating her core energy, giving herself a little bit of love. She looks like it's raining there, or she's crying. So she's really trying to release those ties and patterns. And it says, acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we must accept things as they are. There's no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. I don't know why I couldn't say beyond all of a sudden. There's no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. Right? You stay tied to people trying to change them forever and ever, and all it does is drain your energy even further. Ace of Wands, enter the circus / welcome. So that's Christina there on the carousel horse. Welcome to the greatest show on earth you've never seen before. And of course, the Ace of Wands is fire again. And notice how I said temperance, and we have Queen of Fire, Ace of Fire, 14. It can also be 5, which is a pivot, a shift. The Hanged Man, number 12. So we have 12 and 1, that's 13. So this is really the chain that has to be broken. This it's like, well, can't change that. They hang people upside down in this town, so I better get the hell out of here. Like, ain't no use hanging around. That's a song. I don't know what it is though. I can't quite place it. Oh, I think it's the Monkees. It might be the Monkees. Strength, Leo, also fire. I just heard Arthur Brown, like fire, like I am the god of hellfire and I bring you fire. But I also heard I'm your Venus, I'm your fire, the electric blue, or the shocking blue, I don't remember. So so we have 8. There's the Tower again, or half the Tower. And we have Strength, which is Leo, which is more fire energy. So 8 and 9. 9 Wands, that's that hanging around energy. 8 and 12 is 24, which is 6, which is a choice. So there's making a choice to cut the chain, to love yourself, and to heal. And we have the 5. There's that 5, that pivot. 5 of Pentacles. That's that shut out in the cold energy, right? It's like I keep giving to people, but they don't give me anything. I'm left empty-handed every time. And then there's this idea of the devil energy dragging you down. 5 and 8, 13. That's that queen. That's that change again as well. So 5 of Pentacles. That's Mercury in Taurus. So I said Venus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. It's also like a backhanded nod to the Empress as well. Like, I don't see her necessarily unless you do 8 minus 5 is 3. Where was I? Oh, the Strength, yeah. So that's Leo. Okay. And the Hanged Man is Neptune, which is water, and I think that, yeah, that's Pisces. Okay. So we have this, like, intuitive sense that we're sort of wasting our energy trying to get other people to change. It's like you're trying to get Batman to go into the right bat suit colors, but he keeps coming up as the Joker. He's it's not the Dark Knight that you want, you know. And the essence here really is you need to call back your power. You have the Strength, and look at, there's a little kitty there, right? Just a little kitty, and here she's got a big old kitty, like riding off into the sunset, like toodaloo, motherfucker. And also, my wheel card in this deck has a carousel horse on it, so it is the idea of a pivot followed by movement. Okay. And the Tower is not something to be afraid of. It's gonna bring down all these, all the cords, right? All the, like, the Tower is made up of the walls and chains that everyone attaches themselves to you to suck your energy. It's like the dungeon, right? You have to take down the whole tower to break open the dungeon. And what is 16? 1 and 6, that's 7, that's the Chariot. So again, that has to do with movement and shifting and being more in tune with your emotions, because it's ruled by Cancer. And the Cancer is ruled by the Moon, so there's also that energy of having to break through this dark point in your life. Alright, that was kind of short and sweet, but there it is. So we'll move on to the star pencil here. Oh, I need water. It's very hot today. It's hard to adjust to it being almost 90 when it snowed a week ago. Okay. So, star pencil, we have the Youth. This is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, so it's a little bit different. This would be kind of like, sort of like Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles kind of energy. 3 is normally the Empress, but here we're doing, it starts out with like archetypes of people. So we have the Youth, his trusty wolf friend here, and we have this dawn breaking on a new day. So the day is young, the man is young, and he's trusting in his friends and nature. We have the Queen of Swords, so sort of the entire opposite, someone who's very intense, thoughtful, calculated, well-rounded in their thinking, and knows when to hold and when to fold. Now, normally the Empress energy of the number 3 would be Venus or Taurus energy. But if I'm looking at that Page energy that I described, it would be like summer and spring with earth and fire energy. So that rising up out of the elements, that explosion of energy and youth and sort of primal force. But the earth makes it slow moving, so it's a gradual explosion of energy and not that fireball. The Queen of Swords, Virgo and Libra, so water and air. So we do have some earth energy floating around in here as well, but she's grounded in her thinking, right? And Libra is ruled by Venus, so she's grounded in there as well. Like, she's got both feet solidly on the ground. And Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so that has to do with communication again as well. So it's a... Hello. Holy Mother of God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these little guys here. Knight of Swords inverted. Queen of Cups inverted. The Emperor. Comic strip. Ace of Pentacles. The Seven of Swords inverted. And the Hanged Man. So I see that I said comic strip, and then right before I flipped this card over, I got the idea of drag queen. And then we have this like sneaky energy upside down with the Hanged Man. It's like, I'm not going to pretend to be somebody I'm not. And then we go from this sort of neophyte man to a woman who knows what she's about. So I feel like for anyone who's picked this energy, that it could be, you could be a drag queen, or just that essence of growing up into something that's completely not where you started off, right? It's like a complete shift into a different energy. Now I want to get the rest of the cards before I go into this little comic strip down here. Should I lay it out in the right, like a real comic strip with 6 panels here? Ah, that makes more sense. Okay. Alright. So we'll get there in a second. I did just get the, I rule with my left hand, I rule with my right, I'm Lord of all darkness and Queen of the Night. That's March of the Black Queen by Queen, and it's my Empress song for my music deck that I made. The Magician, the 7 Metals of Alchemy, Presto Changeo. Wind, 63. I might read that. That's a 9. But I see the Lovers and I see the Empress. Lovers is the twins, that's Gemini, so it could be masculine, feminine balance. It could be making a choice. It could be healing. So let me look up Wind in the book, because I haven't had that card that much. Thirsty. I'm so sweaty. Stuck to the chair. Wind. Had some more wind because it's freaking hot in here. It's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes. Okay. The symbol of the wind represents the element of air. It rules communication, thought, song, and inspired ideas. It also signifies change with qualities both positive and negative. Flows from each of the 4 directions, and there are different qualities bestowed by each. So the people of the southern wind, that's a song. Can't remember who does it right now. Carrying a new sense of trust, helping you gently begin to discard habits and parts of you that are no longer needed. The West is the best, saith the Doors. Calling you to more introspection, to a willingness to make final decisions, to let go of attachment and ego desires. North, moving to bring you wisdom and strength. And I just heard Santa Claus is coming to town. It's like the North Pole. East, carrying clarity of vision and purpose. I'm not getting any songs for East. Okay. Whichever way the wind is blowing for you, the message which the wind whispers or shouts is a challenge. It may take courage at first to turn and face the wind, but you will find exultation in moving toward it and receiving its lessons. So it's a sign of change. You can, regardless of what the change is, you can expect to be understood and to have clear communication with others at this time. Ideas are solid, right? Grounded. And the shift that is being called for is in the highest good of all. Okay. So that does follow in with what I was getting. Now, the Emperor is someone who is very solidly based in all four of the kingdoms. He's protective. He's like magnanimous. He's Aries energy, which gives me that sort of fiery youth energy. The Magician here, that's air, that's mercurial. And then the 7 metals of alchemy to me indicates the Chariot, which is that change and movement as well. The steamroller here, for Mannheim steamroller. Okay, now I see the Hangman here underneath the Emperor, and I feel like I'm seeing the same kind of colors, right? I see orange and blue and red and a little bit of yellow. And I feel like it's the same person. It's like whoever is the Hanged Man, and they get to the root of their problem and understand what's coming in, they chop it back to that number 4 and get to the 3, but it's like the difference between them is the Empress, right? 3 times 4. It's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say or do, but I'm chasing what's really in my heart. I need to become the master of all my domains so that I can go through this portal into this new, like, it's literally a greener pasture. Look, he's closer to the mountain. This new concept. You know, I'm not going to be somebody I'm not anymore. I'm going to figure out what it is that I really want, and now I'm going to make it happen. Okay? So this is a dramatic shift in someone's life where it's like your very nature or your very like appearance can become different. You know, it's like a magic wand. You know, it could be literally like a fairy godmother kind of a sense. Or again, with that concept of drag queen, it can be like a fairy drag mother. But it doesn't have to be that. I'm just really getting that as a visual, because I know that there's a lot of people that aren't in the LGBTQ AI plus situation where this sort of dramatic life change might have nothing to do with gender or expression. You know, like, it could be like everybody always thought you were, they told you were stupid, that you'd never amount to anything, and it made you feel like absolute crap, and you're like, you know what, I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. Screw you guys, I'm the hell out of here. I'm not gonna, you know, be some dumbass just because you tell me that's what I am. I'm going to figure out who I am, and I'm going to make it happen. And I'm going to be in charge of my own mind. I don't, you know... Or it's like, you know, you're... Like, it's like being the ugly duckling or the black sheep of the family and really cutting out on your own and proving to yourself that... that you have an identity outside of you know, what's happened to you in your younger days. You know, like, oh, well, we don't do that around here. It's like, well, no, I'm not gonna be some uppity douchebag just because my family is wealthy. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna be a nurse, or I'm gonna go, you know, build houses for the homeless or something like that. It's finding some deeper meaning outside of what's been, what kind of box you've been pigeonholed into. Alright, so that's it for the magic star wand situation. And I think it's Ariel next. Ariel. Just kind of chilling over here. Okay. The Ace of Air. I just got like slightly nauseous and really thirsty at the same time. Hold on, give me a second here. Crap, I drank all my water. I'll have to drink the stuff that's on the other side of the room. Okay, so we have the Ace of Air here. We have this dragon. Winter. Very frosty dragon. The Lenormand. We have the Tower, which is not a bad card in this deck. It has to do with like institutions and structures and fortifications and sort of bureaucratic, taking care of the people sort of thing. It's like the support system underneath the Emperor, kind of. And then we have a Six of Swords energy, so we have more air right away. Six of Swords, Mercury and Aquarius, so again, that has to do with the communications of pushing things into a better place to be, kind of. And then also the number 19, which is normally, which in the tarot would be the sun, and it has to do with interactions with other people in a sort of benevolent way. And then also 10 and 9, it was sort of like internal movements, the machinations of society. Ace of Coins inverted. It's like somebody's been hitting those coffers. So that would be spring and earth, but it's we're stuck in the winter there a little bit. Eight of Coins inverted, so we have more. It's like no matter how hard you work, you're not getting that abundant contentment there. I also see the 9 here as well. 1, 9, 19. The wheel inverted, so there's a 10 again. 10, 9, 19. Stuck in a rut. And that is fire energy with Jupiter. It's like bad luck. Bad luck, Sonny. Somebody stole all the money out of the municipal bond fund there. Faith inverted, which is the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy, which is Earth, which is inverted. So we have, it's like ungrounded. Lack, like, I'm so burnt out. I have no faith in myself anymore. Don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. And it's also I'm thinking of what the Hierophant card usually looks like. It's usually that like marriage card, right? 11. Okay. I'm seeing it as like divorce, but not in a relationship, like broken contract, breach of contract, lack of unity. The Knight of Wands. You're gonna get it now, motherfucker! Scorpio and Sagittarius, right? So we are coming to burn out that darkness with malice aforethought quickly. Ten of Wands, yeah, right? It's some major suckage. Now I do also see we see Judgment here, right? I will reckon with you so goddamn hard. I also see the 10s here as being part of this, and then Ace is 12, which is, this can be a 1 or a 12. And I see this is the truth, right? This is the truth about what's happening within this structure. It's all lies. And I see Judgment here, right? And the 5 also is a pivot. There's a shift from this to uncovering what's going on in Judgment, right? So it goes like 5, 10, 20 very quickly. And then the Wheel of Fortune going upright after the 9 of Wands here. And look at this. Knight of Wands on a horse, Wheel of Fortune spinning wheel. Drop all your troubles by the riverside. Catch a painted pony on a spinning wheel ride. Right. So the judgment of what's been going on, somebody's been stealing money from the community, and you've just been trying to do your job. And it doesn't have to be money, it could be resources too. Like, who's been hoarding all the masks? Now they're all fucking expired. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, I'm so tired of this shit. I'm gonna burn your ass so hard that this is never gonna happen again. That kind of thing. So it could definitely be accountability of government. It could be like a small town kind of thing. Like, you know, the selectmen have been stealing money from the town or the city, and now they're comeuppance has rode in on a fiery horse, and the people want some goddamn answers. Okay, so anything like that, and it could also be like in your little, you know, you had a startup business, what's it called? A limited liability company, and you know, the lawyer that you got assigned when you signed up for it somehow managed to work with your accountant that you didn't know you had and steal your money, and you're like, what the crap, man? And you're like, oh, my dreams are crushed, I've done all this work, nothing's happening, like, why do I even bother? But then you're like, oh no, I will not let this stop me, I'm going to go out there and get it. And I see this can be a 1 or a 12, and this can be a 10 here, so we do have 11, which is timing. Right? So this is a day of reckoning for someone who has taken something from the people in a business and or bureaucratic way. Why is it so itchy? Okay. I did those. Okay, so we're doing the Bridge Cup here. National Society for the Preservation of Covered Bridges. Dedicated to preserving our covered bridge heritage, collecting and recording all historical data, antiquarian documentation, and images of all types pertaining to covered bridges. Alright. Bridge the gap here. It came out upside down and I was turning it. Okay. 12, love. So in the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, the major arcana are a little bit different. This is where the Hangman would normally be, but here we have love, which is kind of partially what the Lover's card would normally be at a 6. But here we have a 12 breaking down to a 3. So it's only part of it. And it's like a little bit of healing, try to make a decision, sort of self-love. And then we have 2 butterflies here. We have some kind of transformation. But it came out reversed, so maybe not quite yet. So we have these Lenormand cards, which I might have to look up. We have 16, which is stars, related to the 6 of Cups. Now, in the... if this was the Lovers, it would be Gemini or Air. But I actually feel like this is more closely related to the 2 of Cups, which is Venus in Cancer. But it's almost like there's only one cup here. So we have the stars and the 6 of Cups here, which is the Sun in Scorpio. Sort of like illuminating the darkness. And we have 16 here, which would normally be a tower number. I also see 6, 6 here, and then 1, and this would normally be a 6 as well. So it's kind of like... I get this idea of like forgiving yourself for the past, especially because there's this time clock on here, but we'll get into that maybe. Other Lenormand card is 14, which is the Fox, which is supposed to be a sneaky little bastard. And then there's a cock on the fence here. And it looks like there's a hen in the coop, in the hen house. That I feel like this reminds me... Let me go get it. I think I have the book. Hold on. I might not have it. I feel like I remember it. I guess not. Ah! Shit. It's tripped on stuff. Okay. Alright. This is not the book that I wanted, but I think it has a picture in it that's... I think there was a fox in this one. Oh no. Doesn't look like it. Failure. Okay, I don't have it. So we used to have the fox and the little red hen in this book series, and I either don't have it or can't find it, or it's not in alphabetical order, but it's like the same red hen character, and instead of trying to make some bread, the fox is trying to trick her into coming out so he can eat her. And that's what this card reminds me of. I'm gonna put it over here. I remember it so vividly too. Oh, it's Little Lenormand. Okay. So I'm on a Nine of Wands, the Moon in Sagittarius. So we do have this idea of some kind of darkness going on. And a little bit of fire energy as well. I'm going to get into these in a minute, but I want to put out all the cards. So we have the Queen of Swords and the Four of Swords inverted. She's almost like, you, wake up right now. Stop sleeping on the job. And then look at this. The window here, even though you can't see it, is the Six of Cups. I'm sure it's got it right here. Alright. When I said forgiving yourself for the past, perhaps in the past you might not have been so upstanding. 14 would be Temperance if we were going by a normal system. 16, the Tower. Right? Trying to balance out what you did that brought your whole world down. And this energy here has told you that it's time to wake up from how you behaved in the past. So here, this is very similar, right? Love. You didn't love yourself before, and you're being called to learn how to do that so that you can learn to love others. The past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. Soulmate. Your soulmate is already with you in spirit. Believe this and they will manifest physically. Okay? So this love card coming out, it's almost like you didn't love yourself in the past and you thought everyone was out to get you because that's how you were. Alright, I lost the end of my segment and I forgot where I stopped off. So I was saying that this card is like you didn't love yourself in the past, and so you ended up being very like crafty and what can I get for me kind of a sense. And this is coming in to say, no, you wake up, forgive yourself for the past. You're going to learn how to love yourself now so that you can love other people. And I don't know if I read these, but I'm just going to read them again. The past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. Soulmate. Your soulmate is already with you in spirit. Believe this and they will manifest physically. Right? So this might be like in the past you didn't trust anyone else because you knew that maybe you weren't trustworthy and you just assumed everyone was out to get you. And now, learning to love yourself and treat yourself with more genuine love and care is going to enable you to, if you so choose to be with somebody else. So then we also have Seven of Wands, which is beautiful. Christina Aguilera. So I think that song is really appropriate. You are beautiful in every single way. Words can't bring me down, or something like that. Seven of Wands. Mars in Leo. So I sense this is not so much as like holding your position, but as realizing there's something more going on when you thought you were winning over everybody else. Right? There's a little something more to be had to life. The sort of like fighting your inner strength is coming to an end. The Earthkeeper 18, so that's the essence of the moon. And let me get into the, what did I say? Oh, here it is. Earthkeeper. Right. It's too hot to try to remember what that's about right now. 18. Alright, so this is about co-creating in your world and being responsible for well-being. So instead of just taking and fighting and scrapping and all that, you have a chance to create something by starting from the inside out. By taking care of yourself, you take care of the earth. Says you have outgrown your small dream of success and achievement and are ready to dream big with possibilities beyond your wildest expectations. So that could be love and happiness. It could be making your way in the world without feeling like you're just taking leftovers from somebody else. Let me check out these Lenormand cards just because it's very brand new to me this week. So the Star, 16. Stars, plural. Shiny sparkles guidance and healing is what I promise through a gentle feeling. I am reassurance, inspiration, and a new path for your exploration. Wish upon a star, for I bring hope and light from afar. So that's basically what I said. Forgiving yourself from the past, starting out on a new venture, stop fighting within yourself, and get some healing. Gentle, loving healing for yourself. So 14, the Fox. When I am not your job, I am your red flag for some deviousness going on. Look around your circle in your hall. I might be planning your fall. I am master of manipulation, and I'm going to fool you all. Craftiness is my fame, and sneaky sneaky is my game. So it could be, it says this is the trickster card of the deck, and its presence brings cunning and plotting for good or ill, dependent on the position. So I would say here, with it coming right after the stars and the fox looking at the stars, it's almost like I'm going to plot how to love myself. And I think that's why this wake-up call is coming in swords. It's like you're so unused to loving yourself or anyone else that you have to think your way into a new position, right? And the beautiful card is sort of self-love expression coming out in Seven of Wands. Is almost like you have to overpower yourself and in order to snatch yourself up to love yourself in that way. I think it can also be a complete and utter lack of nurturing in growing up, a very traumatic and abusive way where you never got any nurturing whatsoever. So it might not necessarily be you that was a nasty little bastard in the past, but it very well could be if you've been in any way devious and may have been at a point where I see Seven of Wands, Nine of Wands, that's the Tower. You might have been in a place where you're making excuses for bad behavior, and this Queen with the Death, and then the 14, the 4, which is 1 and 3 together combined, is again with that wake-up call, just to I moved the camera, just to get you out of that that struggle energy into a more co-creative energy, where again, where the past is behind you, whether it was more to you, but I generally get a sense with this reading that it's more of the listener being the one who is in a very negative, self-serving kind of energy, while at the same time having very little love for themselves, perhaps even self-hatred, like, you know, I suck already, so why not just treat everyone else the way I treat myself? You know, I'm just gonna get whatever the hell I want because it doesn't matter because I suck, or, you know, any of those kinds of things. Just very self-hatey for whatever reasons, whether it was taught to you to be that way to yourself, or, you know, just a reaction to such low self-esteem that it went into this sort of everything for me kind of protective mode. All right, so if you want to get a reading, okay, the complete list of readings I have is in the description box of my infomercial video. You can also email me, theCatCameBack@camp@gmail.com. If you want to hit the tip jar, that's paypal.me/CatTheMinion, Cash App and Venmo, also CatTheMinion. I have prints on DeviantArt. I have merchandise on Cafe Press, shirts, keychains, sheets, pillows, all kinds of crap. And then also I have actual art pieces that are going to be in my catalog. The PDF to the catalog is also in the description box of that infomercial video. Or you can email me and I'll get you all those links and information and notes and whatnot. In the catalog I have made-to-order pieces like this, or stuffed animals. I have my chapbook packs, which are like little oracle readings. There's envelopes stuffed with art and little bits of poetry, just kind of like these things here. It'd essentially be like getting a pile of this stuff in a little envelope, just images, words, numbers, any to help trigger your consciousness and perceptions, perspectives, and might be like a little synchronicity packet for you. So those are in the catalog. It's $5 for one, 3 for $10, or 20 for $10, or if you're outside of the United States, it's $6.50 for one, and I don't have prices yet for multiples. So check those out in the catalog link, that PDF, and all of this other information. Again, in the description box of my infomercial video, link below this one, or just email me. theCatCameBack@camp@gmail.com, and you can get any of those things, the full list of readings, the prices, links to my coloring books, my poetry book, and all those other goodies. All right, so we will see you later. Bye.